We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Frog Jam, our Physics Part 2 live stream, where we'll continue from the events of yesterday and create our physics game. So, Surya, do you want to talk about prefabs?
Sure. So let me pull up a slide. It's really brief, but it just explains what a prefab is. Okay. All right. So a prefab is used to store and reuse parts of your game that you might want to use multiple times. So the easiest way to make one is right-click inside the hierarchy box, which is anywhere inside of this box on the left. Then you want to click create empty, and then you can name it. Name it prefab, or if you're trying to save multiple things, you can name it whatever you want, like level 1, level 2. You drag the objects into the prefab, and then you can drag the prefab down to the assets. So for an example, I have 4 walls and the bouncy ball in my prefab. Since that is used in every level, but in the last level, I wanted the ball to be more bouncy, so I just made the circle inactive and made a new one with a higher bounciness physics material. So you could reuse prefabs as many times as you want in your code. So I could show you how to do that. If I go to my scenes, I have an empty scene 4 here. I'm gonna delete this. So I already have a prefab called game object, but I'll delete it and I can make a new, or actually I can delete it and make a new one. So if I want to make a new prefab of the walls and the bouncy ball, what I could do is I could first make the wall. So I could create 2D square, and I can drag it to make it the wall. I can make another one. So I'm just making 4 walls. There, so I now have 4 walls. Yes. I'm just gonna delete my old prefab from all the other ones because I deleted it, so I don't want it to error. Huh. Okay, I guess I don't need to do that. I can now make the ball, so 2D object. So here's the circle. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that they have the properties I want. So I think prefab. Okay, well, I know what they need to have. Need to have this have rigid body. Oh, wrong one. Rigid body 2D. For all of my walls. There. So now all my walls have rigid body 2D and I have a circle. So if I want to, so this setup I'm going to be using for pretty much all of my levels. So if I want to combine them into one prefab, what I can do is I can right click inside the hierarchy box and click create empty. So it just creates an empty sort of folder, and you can click on one thing, hold shift and down arrow, and it'll select all of the components, and then you can drag it inside of the game object. And now that you have all of these things inside game object, you can go to your assets and drag game object down here. For now, this game object is an asset and it has all four walls and a circle. So if I want to make another scene, say I make a new scene, or scene, I can call it scene 5. What I can do is, instead of having to do that process all over again, I can just add the game object to it and it automatically has what I added to there. So prefabs are easy ways to reuse code that you think you will need to use multiple times. Why should you use prefabs is the other reason. It's easy. You don't need to remake elements of your code. Like, for example, I didn't need to redo the boxes for all the levels because I could just easily drag that game object out. Think of it as like variables or methods in coding. You're storing things so that you can reuse them for the future. It's like writing something out 10 times versus making something to store it and calling that 10 times. It's very easy. You can also export prefabs and save them as files. So I can show that now. I have my game object here. If I right click it, click export package. When you click export, it'll open your files and you can choose where you want to save it. So that's prefabs.
Thank you, Surya. That was pretty cool. So let's move on from there, shall we? So at the moment, since we're a bit ahead of schedule, why don't we try a crack at making some levels? So Surya, you're still sharing your screen. Why don't you make some levels for us? No. Make some levels, why not? Care to take a crack at it?
Sure, I can try making another level.
Amazing. And after Surya, Sharyana, after Surya's done with his prefab and whatnot, do you want to try making a level as well?
Yeah, I can try.
Cool. There's an example prefab in our shared folder in case you don't have the prefab already.
Okay. So I have my scene 5, which I just made. Oh, I shouldn't have double tapped it. Loading. There. Okay. That is not right. I need to add some properties to my circle and add the movement. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, his camera's on for me.
Is my camera on? All right, perfect. I can go back to Unity. Here was my sample scene. I play it. It's loading. Oh, I don't think that's supposed to happen. Oh, I don't have a camera inside of my game object, so I have to go to game object, and inside I have to add my main camera. Here's where I made it. I can drag it. Here's my new scene. I can remove the old game object and make a new one with the camera in it. I must have forgot. We'll see. So I'll make another prefab with square. Duplicate. Oh no. Select. There we go. That. Another square. Create 2D. Okay, so I have my walls. Now I can create a circle. There. And I can, this time when I make my prefab, I can add the camera. So again, you just select one and then you can select all of them, drag it under. And if I go back to assets, I have my game object that I can drag. Wow. So game object is there. I have two now. Okay. So if I go back to my scenes, I can, yes, make a new scene for the new level. Create scene. Call it scene 6. And there's nothing in it. I can add my game object. And right now the circle has nothing. The walls have nothing, so I should make my walls rigid. Okay, now all 4 walls have rigid body. Now for my circle, I need to add the movement script to it. So that has movement. And I also need to add the circle collider, I believe. Now if I try running it. That is not supposed to happen either. I can show you my scene 2. So I can start from here and start adding walls to this. So I can create a square. I can just start adding walls. And my green is my target, and I can have this white circle be where I start. So I can start in the corner and add these to where I want to make it go. So I can make sort of like a maze by duplicating the square over here. I can just remake it and just change the direction and all that and force you to go the direction I want you to. So right here. that. Then I can make sort of like a tube. Oh, that didn't work. Duplicate. All right, so you have to go down to the right to get there. And then say you have to go down now. Have an extra ball I can get rid of, but I can make another one. Make sure it's aligned. There, now it's aligned. So what I'm trying to do is make a maze that you have to go through. So say you have to go down now. I can move it here. And that. I don't want the target to be accessible from right there. So I need to make a wall. Like that. Maybe you have to go around it like this. Okay, so I think that's good for this area. And now I can try making this half. Let's just make a top. There. So I just made a maze. So you have to go down to the right, down, right, up, left. And then you have to go through this sort of like S shape. Kind of looks like a snake. But, oh, I see Maxwell has joined. If one of you would like to try making the levels, you can.
So Maxwell, I heard that you have some art talents up your sleeve. Care to take over with some GIMP stuff?
Sure. Okay, hold on. So, right now, as you can see in my version of the game, we have a few levels, and I'm pretty sure if we put them all together, we have like 10 or so levels now in total. And of course, when you're playing the game, you don't want to just start on level 1 and then like make it to like, let's say level 5 and then not be able to go back to, let's say, level 2. Right? There needs to be a way to go back into previous levels and maybe even forward ahead into levels that you haven't necessarily gone through by progressing normally. And so to do this, we need to make a level select screen. And we should probably make a start screen as well. That would be quite important. And so we will be using GIMP to do this. I believe we have not gone over buttons yet, but creating the background image comes before creating the actual buttons. So we'll click File, New, and this is general stuff that will provide a canvas. And here we can learn about a variety of different tools that we can use. So first, I guess, we can make the start screen. So right here, we're going to put the name of the game, which I believe, is, we have decided, is going to be the ever so popular Rest in Peace Maxwell from last time. And so you can make this basically any font you want. Unfortunately, there isn't a very good way to select them, but you can like Google fonts that you want to use. You can, I guess, make it bold, but you would then, you need to make sure that the text box is long enough for that to be possible. So just for the sake of simplicity, we'll be running with sans serif bold. Maybe we can make it bigger with this. Let's say 80. Again, you need to make sure the rectangle is big enough. Then we can use the move tool to manipulate this. So we can move it to pretty much roughly a center-ish place. And this is the easiest way of making text. And we will be making the buttons in Unity. However, it would be a lot easier to just draw them in here and then have whoever's making the buttons just, make them on top of here. So, I believe there should be a shape tool that will allow us to insert a variety of different shapes. Actually, for our case, we could just do the simpler approach and use the rectangular select tool to select, let's say, this area. And what this does is it makes sure that you can only edit this area. So, for example, I have a brush here. It's not doing anything here. I'm holding my mouse down, but yeah, it selects that area specifically. Hold on, just a bit weird. Okay, hang on just a second.
So, Maxwell, are we having any issues?
Yep. Hold on.
I guess I'll just talk during this bit of dead air then. So, what do you guys think of the physics game so far? You guys think it'll compare to yesterday? I thought yesterday we ended on a really, really good note. And who knows, perhaps this time Maxwell will get credit. So, Shania, what are your thoughts on the stream so far?
I think it's actually going really well. Yeah. I hope we can make it as fun as it was yesterday. Because yesterday was really fun.
It was fun seeing Maxwell suffer. Suri, any thoughts? Yikes, your audio is cutting out.
Is this better?
Yep, that's a lot better.
Yeah, so yesterday I think we did really well. We covered a lot, and I think it was fun yesterday.
Indeed. Hopefully we didn't cover too much yesterday. So, while I'm at it, did you guys happen to see any of the RPG streams that happened in our previous couple days?
I got to watch a little bit of the advanced one, and I thought that was really cool.
Indeed, we had Josh, Arush, and Jivon at our advanced stream, each making very complicated things. For instance, Josh changed the same note 20 times. Can you believe it?
I heard. That's going to be me later on.
Oh dear. Oh. So, are any of you guys thinking about partaking in Frog Jam? Make your own game, perhaps?
I might.
Hmm?
I might watch that.
Oh, I can't really hear you.
I said I might watch the RPG one and do it.
Ah, that's pretty cool. Can't wait for a frog-themed RPG to appear.
I might, if I can get my Mac to work with me.
Oh boy. Oh dear. Maxwell, are we good?
Some weird stuff is going on with my GIMP version.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Is it like not opening?
Not really. Alright, so I can
Back here again. So, Maxwell, perhaps we should just restart the game thing, close out of it? Or are you having like an update going on?
Yeah, I tried to close out of it, but that doesn't seem to fix things.
So, it seems we have a dilemma. When something goes south, what do? Maxwell, I hope you know the answer to this. What do we do when art goes south?
Realized that should have prepared more beforehand.
Nah, That's not true. Even I don't care enough. We obviously use Microsoft Paint.
Oh boy. All right. So, all right. So, basically, if you remember back in the first presentation, the demo for GIMP was to make a mongoose character. And basically, this is the same thing, but with the rectangular brush. You would basically select, say, wanted a button here, and then you would fill it, but something is suspicious here. So, you know, instead, we're going to do this in Paint. It's really going to be similar, but, you know, maybe a bit easier. Because, you know, you don't always need to go with the tools that are immediately provided. So, okay, we're here in Microsoft Paint, and we can do essentially the same thing that we did last time, except, you know, the font selector here is actually like usable. So we're going to call this RIP Maxwell, and we want to make this bold. I think we said size 80. But that seems to be a bit big for this. So, actually, that's like just right. That is just right. So I've opened the grid here to make it easier to, you know, see the proportions of what we're doing here. And really, in an ideal world, you would want to make this the same, or I guess like pretty similar to the proportions of a computer monitor. And so we can actually do that. Okay. So basically, computers are 1920 by 1080p, or at least most of them, most monitors are. And pretty much in order to do this, we just get it to that amount. I'm pretty sure we can use this to our advantage. As you can see here in the bottom left, we can use that to allow us to much more easily see what we're doing. So, we get to 19. Oh, we're at 1919. 1921. Whoops. It appears I've gotten to the point. 1920. And then we need to go down all the way to 1080. And basically, this is kind of taking it to the extreme, but every single one of these squares in this grid is pretty much equivalent to a pixel on a 1080p monitor. So, I've gone quite a bit over, but there. It also seems sideways. I've also gone a bit too far. On. Yeah, we don't have to, but it provides a level of detail that... It provides a level of detail that allows us to I guess, affect the whole screen more easily. Really, you only need to get the proportions roughly right. So we're off by about 9 pixels. Not a huge deal, but I can get it to be perfect. I'm not sure how changing only one of these axes is affecting both, but I guess that's something that does happen. All right, for the purposes of this demonstration, that's pretty much close enough. So, we have our title here, which we are going to make probably larger than size 80. Let's say size 100? 150? Okay. So, we can then move this to the center of our screen. And you want to cut this down as well so that, as you can see in the bottom, it's a bit more precise as to where you are moving. So something like that would be good. And you're going to have all the buttons you want underneath, and it's going to be all fine and dandy. So I guess first we're going to make the background. So I think we can have like a triangle here, and then the ball rolling down it. I always thought that would be a cool thing to do. So once again, you don't need to be extremely precise, but see, something like that would be, I guess, okay. And you can change the color to match up with the actual game. And so you can choose from these, or we can select edit colors. And now, here we can enter in the RGB values that we want specifically. And I'm pretty sure we go into our physics game, we can find those values in here. As you can see, this color for the platform is these values right here. And so what I'm going to do is I actually have 2 monitors. I'm going to drag this over to the second one. If you don't, that's fine. You can just screenshot it or write it down. And we can get the precise color that we want. Uh-oh. Yeah, you'll have to screenshot it. But we can get the precise value that we want. From that. So there we go. Oh, I have stopped screen sharing. Okay, so we had 162, 214, 231. Aha, that looks like our color. And when we color that in, basically, when we actually make this normal, it's going to look quite nice. Right now I have the grid on, so it's a bit off, but it is about fine. And, ooh, actually, we replaced the ball with a basketball in my version of the game. So, as you can see, this is my Unity right now. We can drag, I'm pretty sure, from the assets, the basketball, directly into, whoops, oh dear. Okay, I guess you can't do that then. It looked like you could for a second. So I'll just have to pull it up from the File Explorer. I think I saved it into Documents. Yes. It keeps asking me to do that. You know what? I'll just... Untitled already exists. We'll just call this Start Menu. This appears to have replaced the Start menu. Okay. There should be an Insert tool. I'm quite sure... Oh, wait a minute. I stopped screen sharing. This is just all over the place today. All right, there we go. We're back. We are back. So I guess since we didn't miss much, I'm just going to... Let's pretend nothing ever happened. You know what? Let's just pretend nothing ever happened. We're going to insert the basketball into our paint.
Hey Maxwell, I know we love seeing your face, but we can't see your screen.
Yes. So I'm trying to get this to... Aha! Okay, it was a lot simpler than I thought. All right. So, here we go. We are here. So actually, what we need to do is go to Unity here. And assets, we want to have our basketball. We want to paste it in, like Control-C, Control-V, directly paste it in. And it seems, unfortunately, the transparent background is a bit interesting on Paint, but you can do a freeform selection. This is where having such a large background comes in handy. You can really pick up on much more fine details. I don't believe there's a better way to do this in Paint. As I said yesterday, in GIMP, you would just use the fuzzy select tool. You could use that to do all the magic. But unfortunately here, there is not much magic to be done. Okay, that's good enough. Oh, whoops. So I'm actually pretty sure this is quite bad. Hold on a second. All right, you know what? We need to reselect it and then do something else with this. Now, actually, I'm going to repaste the basketball. Because in Paint, I'm pretty sure once you've moved something somewhere, you can't move it again. So this is very important. So we move it here away from all the other stuff. Then we single out the basketball. So wait, I guess we can resize it here. That's about good enough. Then we freeform selection. And then what we're going to do is... Oh, that's quite bad. Oh dear. All right. And then what we're going to do is just snip out the basketball. I'm not sure any other versions of the game that we've spoken about have this, but I just wanted to put this on at least mine, just for the sake of it being relevant. And we have our basketball. So, oh no. All right, so you need to, once you click it, you cannot unclick it. So you need to move it there immediately. You also can't zoom in or out. It appears. So this is, apologies, this is like the third time I'm doing this, so we're just gonna go, I guess this is quite sloppy, but there we go. We can select this area here and just delete it. It never happened. You know, I like that. That sums up how I'm feeling right now. So we can make, I guess, a few buttons. So like maybe start new game and level select, or should it just be level select? So, okay. So this is what we have right now, and you can make buttons their own image, which is essentially the same thing. So we're going to open up another instance of Paint. Right, so this is another instance of Paint. We're going to dedicate this completely 100% to the button, and then we're going to, pretty sure we can, yeah, we can save it, and then we're going to paste it into there, just like we did with the basketball, except we're not going to have any cropping to do, so it's not going to look terrible. So the first order of business is to, I guess, create the background. I want to have a black outline, so I'm just going to make it all black for now. Then I'm going to take this, and then select that area, which I'm going to make our lovely blue color. Uh-oh, I did a funny again. I'm not sure if it saved our blue color, actually. You know what? We're just going to delete that. This looks roughly right. And then edit colors. Now, unfortunately, it did not save our other, it did not save our color, our blue color. So, I have a screenshot of it right here. So it is 2, 214, and 231. All right. So this is going to be the background of our button. And I guess we can label them just so that later, whenever anyone makes any buttons, they'll be able to know which ones to make. So I guess this one is start new, except we're not going to make it this. We're going to make that black. All right, you know what? Let's make it Comic Sans just to make people mad. We can make it basically as big as we need it to be, which I guess in this case is, let's make this 100. So this is our start new. And it doesn't have to be perfect because these won't actually be the buttons that you will see when you play the game, I don't believe, but something like that, that's about good enough. So what we do now is simply save, and then we can paste them into our start menu. All right. So it appears that you can't copy paste them directly from the File Explorer. However, if you, I hope you can see this. This is the Start button. If we take this and drag it into the assets on Unity, I think that would actually be a pretty good idea, because then we can use those directly. But just to, again, allow the people making the buttons to see where they should go, we're going to, we're going to copy this and then paste it here, except that's not working. Apologies for that. That is not working either. Oh boy. A lot of technical difficulties today.
Hey Maxwell, quick idea. What if you just saved what's just made in Paint as some images and pulled up Unity and made a new scene and put those images in?
All right, that could be fine. So, all right, here we go. This, we're going to, I guess, this might be a crude way to put it, but we're going to abandon the notion of helping the people who are making these buttons, because it should be easy enough to see in Unity, honestly. So we could just save this and then import it into Unity assets, just like this button here, and then we can create a working start menu. And really, the level select is the same thing, but with a whole ton of buttons, which is not going to be fun for me, but, it's content, I guess. So there isn't that much to show, but, yeah. It's the same thing pretty much. So actually, I've already saved the start menu, but so we can just drag it into Unity directly. But now, I guess all we have to do is just, oh dear. Okay, but now all I have to do is just edit this right here to like, oops. I guess this is the one thing I don't like about Paint. It's that oh geez, you don't really have that much control over much. So we have saved our blue color, and then we can redo our text here. So we can call this like, I don't know, we can make this the level select, except we're going to make it readable. Select. You know what? We're going to keep that as it is, because, this game is memey enough already. Why not give it some more? So we're going to save as documents. We're going to say level select. Boom. And then we're going to drag it into Unity, which I have on the side right here. And you know what? Because this is me and I have total control right now. There's nothing anyone is going to be able to do about this. We're going to make an Amogus button too. This is going to, I don't know what this is going to do. Maybe it's going to be like some kind of like secret level or something. But there we go. It's all lowercase. And there we go. So we're going to drag this into there as well. And really, making all the buttons for the individual levels is going to be the same thing, except with squares or circles or whatever you want them to be. So honestly, this is probably the most laborious thing you'll be doing in Paint or GIMP once it's working. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Maxwell. So, Perrin, mind taking over and showing us how to make a start menu and level select?
Oh, wait. Let me get my background. Thanks. All right, there we go. Hello, my name is Perrin, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make start menu and level select. So let me just share my screen here. All right, so I went a little bit of ahead of myself, but I can tell you what I did. So first of all, I made a scene called level select and another scene called main menu. And for the background, so first on the main menu scene, I right clicked, I went to UI, then I go to panel. So you can see this panel's right here. So on that panel, actually no, not on the panel. For the background, you can go to import new asset, then select that, and then drag it from here to inside the canvas, and then I drag it to here, and yeah. And then for the text, I just go to UI, text dash text mesh pro, and when you first click on text mesh pro, there will be it'll prompt you to select import something I forgot, but click that, and then you should get this new text. So I called this game Rip Maxwell because why not? And all right, let's get started. So the first thing you'd want to do is to create a button. So you go to UI, button, and we're going to call this play button. Let's go ahead and increase the size. And actually, before we make the button, let's make another piece of text so that people can actually see the button. And we're just going to call this play. Let's change the color. And let's increase the size. Yeah, okay. And if you want, you can change the font, but for demonstration purposes, we're not going to do that. So we'll keep this button here, or sorry, text here. And then for the button, what you want to do is click this. This is called anchor presets. What you want to do is hold Alt on your computer, and then click on this, and oh wait, yeah, you have to select this first, and then hold on. Okay, that did not work.
Hey, Perrin, quick question. Can't you just to go to your hierarchy and see your play button how it has a drop down? Can't we just
Yeah.
hit that drop down? Hit that drop down on that? Click on that text right there in the drop down and just change that.
All right. Okay. Okay, so anyway, let's just call this play. Let's change the color. Change the font size. And okay, and now we gotta make another button. So make another button. Just put this right below the play button. And we're gonna call this one options. Change the color. All right, now for the last button, we're gonna make a quit button, which will obviously exit you out of the game. First, let me rename this first. Okay, same thing as the options button. Change the color. Change the font size. Make the button a bit bigger. Or wait, not the. To put it right below the. Okay, I know it doesn't look even, but bear with me here. Okay, now the first button that we're going to configure and write code for will be the options button. So what you want to do first is right click on the options button and go to UI and click toggle. And we're just going to call this mute audio. Now, fortunately, I don't have any audio with me because copyright issues. But if you did have audio, this would mute it. So, actually, first, before we did something wrong, let's create a new scene. And let's call it options menu. Now let's drag it here. Actually, no, let's drag it inside here. Oh wait, yeah, you can't do that. Okay. So let's open this new options menu. Actually, no. Here's a better idea. Let's just copy the level menu, or sorry, duplicate it. I'm just gonna call this options. Wait. Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. So let's just actually copy the canvas and just put it under options menu. And let's get rid of the
Hey, Prin,
fresh.
quick thing I wanted to mention. You know, rather than talking about an options menu, why don't we talk about our quit and play and get those working for now? Is that cool?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Options
Okay,
is more
so
like a side, additional thing, but play and quit's more important.
okay, yeah. Um. All right, so let's get rid of our options menu. Yeah, save first. Let's delete this and this and our options button. Just drag our button here. Okay, so to the right now we're gonna write the code for the main menu. So inside the main menu, we're going to let's see. Okay, okay, add component, new script, and let's just call this uh, play and quit. Now let's open this in Visual Studio. Oh, wait, it's doing something. Okay, now let's open this in Visual Studio. Just wait. Okay. Now let's go ahead and delete all this. And what you want to type first, let's go over here. Using scene, or sorry, not scene. Unity engine dot scene management semicolon. Okay, now inside these brackets, what we're going to write is a public void called play game, which will, as you can guess, will let you play the game. Fun. Inside of this, we create bracket and type in scene manager dot load scene, and over here you have to type the name of the new scene that you're going to put, which in this case it's called level select semicolon. And for our quit button, what we're going to write is public void quit game and bracket and application dot quit. and semicolon. And to make sure it actually quits, because it's not going to show it in Unity, we're just going to type debug.log, and inside we're going to say quit semicolon. It should be it for this code. So we're just going to go ahead and save. Go back to our game. Hold on. And let's see if this works. Oh, wait. All right, so it seems that I have made a mistake. So, see what I did. Let's go back to our code here. We're gonna copy all of this because I might have to make a new scene, or sorry, or yeah. Yeah, I don't know why the play and the quit buttons
So,
aren't working.
Ren, let's take a look. I think your code might have a bit of an issue. Can we go back to your code? So, you see, for our play button, rather than loading the scene level select, what if we did the scene manager get current scene +1? Remember that?
Oh, okay.
Let's try that out. I think that works a lot better.
Then,
Also, be sure to add your scene to the build settings.
oh, okay. But then, why isn't the quit button working?
Huh. Did you make sure that... So, there can be two reasons. One, Unity doesn't really like quitting. Like, can we go to your quit button right now? Like, exit out of play mode. Let's go to your quit button. Let's scroll down to your button. See, you didn't add anything to the button. On click, list is empty. Where's the button go?
Oh, okay.
Remember what to do here?
Yes, okay. So, hold on, I'm just going over my notes. All right, so do I need to add anything here?
Yep, we hit the plus button. Remember, we drag in our canvas for the object? Because you put our code on the canvas, right?
Yes.
Let's drag it into where it says none. Let's go to no function. Go to play and quit. Play and quit. And play game. And then for our quit button, let's do the same thing, but make sure we click on the quit game program you made. So we hit the plus. We gotta hit the plus first. You accidentally did a oopsie. Can we hit the minus?
Oh, okay. Hold
Remember, we
on.
gotta hit the plus, drag the canvas. Okay. Playing quick game. Let's try to see what happens. You made sure to build your scenes, right?
Yeah, I made a scene for the level select.
And you added it to the build settings?
Nope. Oh no, I did the. Or yeah, I didn't add it.
Yep, let's exit play mode and add it right now. Let's go. Let's just go file. Let's go file print. Add open scene. And then let's exit out of the build settings. Hit X. Let's double click on level select and enter the level select. Hit save. Let's go to file, build settings, and open scenes. Let's go back to our main menu. And let's try hitting play now and see what happens. Our error is vanished.
All right.
That means
All right.
we're quitting. And if we hit the play button, let's see what happens there. Will we get the next level, or will we have to do the manual? Big type.
Nice.
You got it. Nice. Why are you using Unity 3D? Thought we're making a 2D game.
I was just rushing, dude.
Oh my gosh. Purrin, classic Purrin. Oh well.
Clicked on
It
2D
still
here,
works.
so
You can
it's
still make 2D
fine.
games in a 3D scene.
Yeah. Okay. Now for the level select.
For our level
So-
select, let's just make a button that goes to the next level, level 1. We'll call it a day.
All right.
For an official
So-
level select, you guys will be making a bunch of buttons for all of your levels. We don't exactly have all of our levels imported onto Prin's computer yet. So we'll just have a level 1 button, and that's it for now. Good luck.
All right. So now we make another panel. And we do the same thing that we did for our main menu, just with the background. And we add it here. And let's see, where is it? Okay. Oh. When did that happen? Okay. Now we just add this to the background. First, we gotta make it a where is it? There's supposed to be a setting where it says sprite 2D, and that's the only way I can put in. Hello. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So let's just copy all of this. level select. And there we go. Just delete this one. Delete all these buttons. And for the text, we'll just put level select. Now, let's make another button. And let's call this button level 1. For our text, we'll do the same thing. Or no, we'll just put a 1. Yeah. Just make it 1. Just put in the middle. And let's increase our font size to 100. And let's change the color. Okay. Now we have to code this as well. So to do that, let's first make a scene called level 1. And let's add this to build settings. Oh wait, first open it. Let's go back to level select. And for canvas, just make a new script. First delete this one. Actually, we'll deal with that later. Let's focus on writing code right now. So, let's call this script. Just call it level 1. Yeah. And let's open this in Visual Studio. First, let's wait for it to do its thing. Let's get rid of all this. Not that. And again, you put here using Unity Engine .scene management semicolon, and then create a public void and we're gonna just call it play game again. Put our brackets and just gonna save things last time and do scene manager dot load scene and in parentheses we put level 1 semicolon, and so first of all, gotta get rid of this. Oh, okay. Okay, now let's see if it works. Okay, let's check what I did wrong. Build settings. Yep, it's there. Check the code. Oh, okay. Yep. All right. So again, click this plus button, and we drag our canvas here to none, and we go to level 1, and where's the play game?
Let's save the code. You make sure to save the code.
Yep.
Let's go to. Yep, I think you just saved it now, so I think that's your issue.
Oh, okay. Yep.
If we go back to the button now, it should show up. Yep.
Okay, now see if it works. And there we go.
Incredible. Thank you.
That's how you make your own level. Now let's move on to the next person.
So, Sharanya, thank you, Perrin. Want to take over now? Let's talk about music and whatnot.
Hello. Yeah, I can take over. So once you're done like making your game and stuff, you can start composing your score for background music. So your game isn't like just white noise the entire time. So I can share my screen and I can walk you through the process. Right, can you guys see it? All right, so before composing your score, there's some like music basics you should know. So the first thing you'll see when you like open up a new score in the music software we'll be using, which is called flat.io, and I'll be getting to that later, you'll see these two clefs. So this one on the top, this fancy looking one, is called the treble clef, and it's normally used for higher pitched notes. And this one on the bottom is known as bass clef, and it's known for lower pitched notes. And this one in the middle is known as middle C, and this is what connects the two clefs. So to read notes on the treble clef, just remember that all the line notes are E, G, B, D, and F, and you can use like acronyms for this. Every good boy deserves fries, and the notes in the spaces are known as face, F-A-C-E. So this is just a simple way of recognizing notes in treble clef. And now bass clef is a little bit different. Bass clef, the notes on the lines are known as G, B, D, F, and A. And the notes on the spaces are known as A, C, E, and G. So this is what it would look like all together. This is starting in C, going up all the way to middle C, and then we're going up to C in the treble clef. Next, we have to discuss accidentals. So think of the black keys on a piano. So when you see a flat symbol, that means you're moving down your note half a step. So let's take this black key here, right next to C, right in between C and D. So this black key would be C sharp or D flat, because you're moving 1/2 step up from C, which would be a sharp. And then it could be a D flat as well, because you're moving down a 1/2 step. So you could apply these to all the keys. Next we have key signatures and scales. So key signatures are just make it simpler for people to make music, and there's two different types of scales. There's major and minor. Major is usually used for more happy, upbeat music, and minor sounds more melancholy. And as you can see here on the treble clef, here we have our sharps and our flats, which indicate which scale we're in. So for example, C major has no sharps or flats, and the scale would start on your C. And the same thing can be applied to all of these. Next, we have note lengths. So you'll see this is called a whole note, and this lasts for 4 beats exactly. Next, you'll have half notes, which last for 2 beats. Then you have quarter notes, which last for 1 beat each. Eighth notes, which last for half a beat. And then finally 16th notes, which last for 1/4 of a beat. So you can count these pretty easily. For a whole note, you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'd hold it your one note that way. Half notes would be you count it 1, 2, and then 3, 4. For quarters, you just count 1, 2, 3, 4. And now for eighth notes and 16th notes, it's a little bit different. Since 2 eighth notes is equal to 1 quarter note, you'd count 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. And since 2 16th notes is 1 eighth note, and 4 16th notes is 1 quarter note, you'd count 1 E and a, 2 E and a, and so on. Now, time signatures go hand in hand with note values. So you'll see this too, and you'll have the option to change these. So this top number here is the number of beats that are in a measure, and this bottom one is the value of the beat. So this is probably the most common example you'll see. This is 4 beats in a measure, and then the value of the beat. This means that your quarter note is equal to 1 beat. So for example, here you have 2 beats in a measure, and your quarter note is equal to 1. For this one, you have 3 beats in a measure, and your quarter note is equal to 1. And this one's a little bit different. This bottom number means that your eighth note is actually equal to 1 beat, and you'll have 6 beats in one measure. And next, we're going to be going to our music software, which is flat.io. It's extremely user-friendly and it's free, but you do have to make an account. So once you make an account, you'll reach this screen, and you just click on New Score. You can choose a title of your score, so we'll just call it the name of our game. And from here, you can choose the different instruments you'd like to use. So for this one, for simplicity's sake, I'll just use a grand piano. And there is a premium version, and there are like more instruments you can use, but I just recommend using what you have with the free version. So you can create your score, and you can start composing. So there's a lot of things you can change here. So you can click on this and you can change your tempo to whatever you like. I'll change mine to 120. And these are your treble clef and your bass clefs. And I'm going to change my time signature to cut time, which basically just means it's the same thing as 2/4, well, almost the same thing, where a half note is equal to 1 beat and you have 2 beats in a measure. So let's get composing, and you have all your options for your notes up here. You can choose your different articulations. You can choose different like fancy stuff, which I'll get to later. You can add in dynamics like loud or soft, and you can add in measure stuff, and you can change more stuff from treble clef to key signature and so on. For now, I'll just keep mine C major or A minor. So I'm going to start off with some pretty light, fast stuff because it's a pretty fun game and you want your score to match your theme of the music. So if you have a more like dark theme, you'd want to go a bit more heavy with your sound. And something else I do find useful is if you go up to the top right corner, there's like a keyboard sign and you can use your keyboard, and this is also really helpful when visualizing like what you're going to make. And I always like to start with right hand first so I can get like the melody ready. And then I can go to left hand and start writing harmony. Oh, hang on, I'm sorry about that. Here, let me just... Can you hear that? All right, sorry, I just had to disconnect headphones. And then after I compose stuff, you can add in dynamics and like fancy stuff. If you guys have any suggestions of what you want me to do, I'll be like happy to add that in. Because I'm just kind of going with the flow right now.
I think it's good.
Thank you. And something I didn't talk about is articulation. So it's pretty simple. You see up here you have a staccato, which just means it's lighter than usual and a little bit shorter. This is like ultra staccato. Tenuto means it's just a little bit longer and a little bit more heavier. And you can add in slurs, which basically means you're connecting the two notes. So that's what I'm going to do with these two. Make it a little bit more spicy. Actually, I'll just make these all. And here's the cool thing. You can also highlight like multiple sections and you can apply the same thing to all of them. So the reason I'm changing that to a sharp is because I'm mainly playing an A minor right now. And the thing with minor keys is that not only do they have the same key signature as their relative major, but there are different variations in minor keys that just make them sound more, I don't know, aesthetically pleasing. And they're usually on the 6th and the 7th notes, and they're usually raised half a step. So if you remember, raising a note half a step would mean that you add in a sharp. I'm going to go ahead and add in left hand. Sorry, not left hand, bass clef. It would be left hand if you're playing piano, but I'll go ahead and start adding in stuff. That sounds kind of bad. All right. I'm sorry. And what I'm doing here is known as octaves. They're basically the same note, but played basically an entire, I wouldn't say scale, but 8 half tones apart, 8 whole tones apart, my bad. Just going to add in the left hand for these parts. cool you can do is if you want to copy like a motif or something, you can command copy and just command paste, and it'll automatically do it for the next one. And this here is known as this 8BA. What it does is that it tells the program to actually play the note a whole octave lower. So I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of trying to make this more interesting. And after you're done creating your score, you can add in dynamics and stuff, basically how loud or how soft you can play. You can add in like staccatos, which is, again, how short you want it to be. I'm just going to add it to all of these because we're making a pretty light game. And you can add some fancy stuff too, which is you go to ornaments and you can add stuff like trills, which basically means you're alternating between two notes pretty quickly, and tremolo, which is practically the same thing almost. And this arpeggio just means you're rolling up one note at a time. This turn is basically where you alternate between a couple notes in a like cool little pattern, and you can add in accelerando or retardando. I'll add in a retardando at the end. Retardando basically means to slow down, and this probably isn't necessary, but I'll just add, if you go to measure, you can add in these right repeats, which basically mean after you reach the end, you go back to the beginning, play it all over. So I will give this a test run. We'll see how it sounds, because I'm not really sure. Okay, does that sound okay, guys? Do I need to add anything?
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how it was gonna sound. And, oh, sorry, my bad. And these things I'm adding here are just dynamics. This triangle this incomplete triangle you see here is just a crescendo, which means you're getting louder. I'll just add these like throughout the piece. And this other triangle is known as a decrescendo or diminuendo. It just means getting softer. And I think that should be it. And once you're done with your stuff, you can export it to Unity by going to the right top corner with the menu bar. You go to export, and you want to save it as a .wav or audio lossless. Not sure what that is, but you're going to save it like that. It does take a while, but it shouldn't take too long. There it is. So you go to Unity. Let's pretend I have a fully completed game here. I couldn't upload them due to technical difficulties, but you want to go to where you have hierarchy in the top left corner of your game engine. You click on the plus sign right below it. You click on audio, then audio source. Now you have here, you go to the right, and you see where it says audio clip. What you want to do is you're going to want to, oh, I don't know, it's opening music. Guys got to hear the beginning part again. So you want to open up this. Go to where your thing is saved, and you just want to drag it here to assets. And you should see something like this. And you can drag and drop this over here to where it says none, and soon enough you'll have your audio clip here. And you want to make sure to check the loop box so it keeps playing and it doesn't just like stop in the middle. And now you're done. Now that you're like officially done, I'm going to show you how to finally like upload it to everything you have to like a folder. So what you want to do is, and this is only when you're like completely done, so you can like share your entire game with us. So what you want to do is you want to go to edit first. You want to go to project settings, and you're going to open up player, and you can leave company name blank for now, but product name, this will be the name of your game. So just name it Rip Maxwell. I don't know, it's 2.0. And you can add in like a default icon. I just have this light thing here, so I'll just use that. But you wanna actually like make something and then upload it here. And you'd want to go to, after you're done with that, you can exit out. And next you want to go to File now. You want to go to Build Settings. You want to click on your platform that you're using. I'm using a Mac, but so when you like go here, make sure to click on the one that you're using. So if you're using Windows, which most of you probably are, you would click on Windows. Then you would click Build and Run. And then you're going to want to save this. You can add tags to it or whatever to help you find it easier. And you're going to like create a new folder for this. I created Rip Maxwell 2.0, and you're going to save it there. I don't know why it's taking so long. Oh my god. If only. There we go. Doing all its stuff. And now you have your game here. My beautiful music. So I don't know how to get out. There we go. And you have your game open. You can share it with us. So make sure to do that when you're all done, or if you just want to preview your game. And I think that's it from my side. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you for joining us for our Physics Part 2 stream, and that pretty much sums things up. So, good luck with your frog jamming and whatnot. Until next time, see y'all later. You guys on wave? No? Okay.
Sure.
Cool. Let's all wave. Oh, I guess Macklin and Surrey don't want to wave. Okay. See ya.